How's it going, everybody? It's a rainy, overcast day out here at the farm, but it's actually kind of nice to be sitting out here. But what I really want to talk about today is the NRA statement that we are fighting a culture war. Now, the NRA doesn't always say things that I agree with or do things that I agree with, but overall they support the Second Amendment and they are a good thing in my opinion. They fight back against the anti-gun lobbyists, the anti-gun crowd, and we really are fighting a culture war. The public's understanding, education of firearms and crime, many other things in fact, is extremely low. They don't really understand statistics. They don't bother to look up what the actual statistics are. And I'm not talking about statistics put out by right-wing groups or the NRA. I'm talking about the Bureau of Labor Statistics or Bureau of Justice Statistics, or the FBI Uniform Crime Study. Very reputable organizations that put out very good statistics. But they don't look it up, they don't understand it, they go off of what sensationalist news organizations put out. And because of Sandy Hook and all the other shootings, they believe that gun crime is way, way up. Now, this is a problem with many things, especially in the medical field, where we have people believing that Down syndrome has skyrocketed, but it's really a misunderstanding of statistics and misunderstanding of progression of medicine. But the same is true with firearms. People don't look at the actual statistics here. And in fact, gun crime has nearly been cut in half since the mid-1990s. I got some statistics I've written down here. Number of killings has dropped by 39% between 1993 and 2011. That statistic is put out by the Bureau of Justice Statistics. The number of non-fatal gun crimes has dropped by 69%. But 56% of the population believe that they have gone up. Now, I believe this is a cultural thing. People are latching on to what they see in the media. They don't understand firearms, and things they don't understand are often scary to some people. So we really are fighting a culture war, and there are some people trying to do things to get knowledge out there. Now, there's some things that I do have issue with that I want to discuss in this video. The open carry people. Now, the open carry people go out and they do open carry litter pickup. They walk around with their guns. I have mixed feelings about this. And actually, there's an open carry march on Washington that's being proposed that I hope does not go through, because it could be very damaging to us. What you've got to understand is, yes, there are going to be a group of people who you do acclimate to that. You get them to understand that guns are not a bad thing. Normal citizens are carrying them. Because when we conceal carry, people don't see that. They just see us as another person, which we are, but they don't see that we're also a gun owner. They may structure their opinion according to that. But when you walk around with a gun, you may draw some people to our side, but you're going to push a lot of people who do not understand firearms, who are afraid of them, even farther to the other side, and make them want to get rid of even CCW laws. So I don't necessarily agree with this. I think there can be very good public relations. You can have like the Appleseed shoots, where you take people out who've never shot before, show them how to shoot with a .22, get them into the sport. You can try to promote the sport of shooting in your local area, get people involved. But just carrying around a gun and kind of being a thorn in their side, forcing them to realize that, hey, we're here, can actually be very detrimental to us. I mean, that could add to the reason why 56% of the people think gun crimes are up. I mean, a lot of it is we have constant access to the news media. Every time someone's shot, every time there's a crime, we know about it instantly. We know about it. If you have a smartphone, at any moment you can look at the news and see someone's been shot. So we're more exposed to it. Even though gun crime is down, we're more and more and more exposed to it. So people's opinions are changed by that. Lightning just went off over there, that's why I looked. So people's opinions are changed by that. Just our exposure has gone up. There's a lot of things that are like that. I put out the medical aspect of it. The people who don't believe in immunizing, don't believe in giving your children shots to put off things like typhoid or polio or stuff like that. They see mental conditions as on the rise since we started immunizing people to that, and they put two and two together and think that's the case, when really, when you go with something like Down syndrome or any of those other disorders, you've got to look at, in that time, we've gotten better and better and better at telling when somebody has those conditions. What went from just the weird kid in school turned out that he had a mental disorder. Nowadays we understand that. Back then we didn't. It was very, very difficult to diagnose somebody with that. So there were very low statistics. When in fact the rate of people having those disorders has not grown. It's just that we are more exposed to it. Medical science has gotten better at detecting it, so there's going to be more regardless. So it's not really a case that we've had more and more of these, or that something has caused us to have more and more cases of these disorders. It's just technology has grown, we're more exposed to it, and they're able to detect it better. So people made their opinions around false statistics, and that happens a lot with us in firearms. It's I know I maybe sounds like I'm droning on to you, but it's very, very important to understand this, because how we fight back against this requires us to understand how people are seeing the issue. The common person who isn't exposed to firearms will base their opinion on how we expose them to it. So we have to be aware of that. If we're putting it in people's faces and not being very careful about how we are doing that, how we are exposing them to firearms, we run the danger of turning them against us. So that's my little rant there. I mean, the news media, the left-wing politicians aren't helping, but we don't want to hurt ourselves either, which is happening quite a bit from what I'm seeing. So thanks for listening.